him, and they credited that with shooting down the bills. That was the turning point. And they were in the paper, and that was 15 years ago, 14 years ago. And they said, we don't care, Jones. Time is on our side, like Rolling Stone says. And it's sick. I mean, again, Mexico doesn't let any immigrants in, and when Guatemalans sneak across, 6 months to a year, hard labor in a slave camp. New York Times. I think the headline was, Mexico's own dark immigration history. Or Mexico's own dark past with immigrants or something. You can pull it up. It's like, yeah, we're not good either in America. We should have open borders, but they're bad too. We're bad compared to Mexico? Do you know what they do to the stupid party goers that go down there and drink and drive? You get a year in jail. They run a credit score. They run a background on all your family. And if you're worth millions of dollars, it costs millions to get your kid out. If you're worth hundreds of thousands, it'll cost you $40,000. But it's like, oh, well, that's Mexico. That's okay. God help us. And of course, it doesn't matter if you don't want to go to Mexico, because Mexico's come up here. And most of the Mexicans I talk to that own businesses and stuff, they're actually like, oh, no, don't open the border. No, you're right, it's going to collapse. Oh, I couldn't even have a restaurant and a bar. I know this Mexican guy who's a former boxer, really nice guy. He's like 70 years old. A really nice fella, gentlemanly fella, real smart guy. And he comes over when I go to his restaurant every once in a while. He's also got a bar there. And I'll drink a beer or something. And he's like, talk about how the Mexican mafia would shake him down and how great America is. Well, just get ready for it, folks, because that's where it is. All these Mexicans that ran up here to be away from the crime, it's like running from Chicago or something. Let's go to your phone calls. But there's just some of the numbers right there where she breaks down, or in all these big polls and studies, they break down that the illegals, 80+% of the time, vote to take all the guns. Immigrants, all immigrants have always been the bulwark of the Democratic Party. For one thing, recent arrivals tend to be poor and they need government assistance. Also, they're coming from societies where far more left-wing than our own. History shows that rather than fleeing those policies, they bring their cultures with them. Yeah, it's like mainly white Californians have moved to Austin after collapsing their state. They don't know why they couldn't get a job there. They don't know why they can only get a job here and live better. They think it's heaven. But then they want to get rid of families, ban guns, ban cars in the city, harass everyone. I mean, it's just, you can't help them. This is not a secret. For the last centuries, there's never been a period when a majority of immigrants weren't Democrats. At the current accelerated rate of immigration, 1.1 million new immigrants every year, that's just current, it's legal, Republicans will be a fringe party in about a decade. This is all in the major studies. They know this. Thanks to the endless polling, we have a pretty good idea of what most immigrants believe. According to Harris poll, 81% of native-born citizens think that schools should teach students to be proud of being American. Only 50% of naturalized U.S. citizens think so, because they're taught to hate America now. While 67% of native-born Americans believe the Constitution is a higher legal authority than international law, only 37% of naturalized citizens agree. No wonder they vote 2-1 Democrat. The two largest immigrant groups, Hispanics and Asians, have little in common economically, culturally, or historically, but they overwhelmingly support big government, Obamacare, affirmative action, and gun control. Yep, gonna kill some babies, gonna take your guns. According to 2012 National Asian American Survey, as well as the Kaiser Foundation poll, only 40% of the general public holds a favorable opinion on Obamacare, 42% unfavorable. Meanwhile, 51% of Asians have a favorable opinion of Obamacare, 18% an unfavorable one. That means 82% are for it. Even Koreans support Obamacare by 57% to 17%. Overall, 69% of immigrants like Obamacare, according to 2010 Cooperative Congressional Election Study. And then it gets into the guns, 80. I mean, it's just weird. It's over, man. It's over. I guess my goal has got to be to, I've never tried to make a bunch of money. I've tried to just put it into fighting the New World Order, but maybe I need to try to make money and bribe my way into Switzerland. That's the only place they've not let in people with no skills. And so they're so wealthy, they're just drowning in wealth, power, and prestige, and scientists. And I guess that's it. I know they're selling such racial hatred of whites, I probably can't go to Chile. God, I'm sorry for Western civilization. I'm sorry. Sorry for space travel and classical music. I apologize. I'm bad, okay?
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Blockit Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Do you know about the NSA loophole? Or maybe you think your law-abiding ways are too boring for them to care about you. Tell that to the Virginia farmer who was audited by the IRS because of her Tea Party activities. Or the Texas man who woke up to a SWAT team raid because of online comments he had made about his gun collection. No, God-fearing Americans like you are in the crosshairs. Learn how to drop off the government's radar and get off the grid at privacylockdown.com. That's privacylockdown.com.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
By now, you may know that a Bitcoin is the first decentralized currency that's easily transferred from person to person over the internet. No bank needed. This means lower fees and accounts can never be frozen, limited, or closed. Plus, a large number of businesses and merchants already accept Bitcoins, and Bitcoins are easily exchanged for dollars, euros, and more. If you're interested in making money in the Bitcoin market right away, and by right away we mean start making money today, please visit us at cloudhashing.com. Cloudhashing.com is one of the fastest growing Bitcoin miners in the world, delivering the highest profits to people just like you. To get started, join us at cloudhashing.com and you will start mining Bitcoins right away and get paid daily. You heard correctly. You will receive payments every single day. And the best part, you do not need a computer or need any experience in mining Bitcoins. It's perfect for everyone. Learn more at cloudhashing.com. Just like it sounds, cloudhashing.com. Start making money today at cloudhashing.com.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Look, the West has always been of two minds. Very altruistic, very open, wanting to empower humanity, but also very savage. And so it is Western hospitality and the Western idea of lifting people up that has had our borders be so wide open. Not just here, but in the original Europe. The problem is the globalist political class are creating division. Humans are naturally tribal or racist. Now, if people's tribal idea is liberty and freedom and a shared common goal for human empowerment, then we could be a multiracial cultural system. But the Democrats and the socialists in Europe are cheating. They claim with one hand they want this empowerment when they actually want people controlled by the state and then fighting with each other. And that's why we should deport most of the illegals. We should treat the immigrants a third the way Mexico treats them. And if that happened, people would pull their hair out. So, hey, don't worry, those of you out there that think overrunning the country with people from all over the world, could be stopped. Only if we reach into the minds of the people and get them to understand the globalist program. But the globalists want to bankrupt everyone anyways, so you have to be dependent on government regardless. You've got to either have a total shift and awakening, or humanity as we know it is done. But the third world itself is being targeted and abused and destroyed by the globalists. Mexico has been destroyed by NAFTA and GATT. They're forcing those poor people off their land at gunpoint for 30 years and forcing them up to Mexico City to live in conditions worse than the movie Soylent Green. My heart goes out to those people. My heart goes out to the 11-year-olds by law in Mexico, totally unconstitutional, even under their law, giving them the deadly Gardasil shot that was killing people 9 years ago in trials. And again, I'll say this. Where is Mecha? Where is La Raza, the race, the clan? Where are all these groups trying to warn Hispanics? They're not. They're there to use you, just like the black leaders are a bunch of pimps over their people. And just like the white Republican leaders, using race politics themselves, are selling everybody out with open borders right now because they're all globalist pawns. Let's go to Ryan. Then we'll go to Dax, Barbara, Derek, and others. I appreciate everybody holding. Ryan in Kentucky, you're on the air.
Good morning, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I got well, first of all, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I've got just a quick comment and then a question for you. First of all, I want to tell you that I do pray for you, and I pray for the InfoWar, because we're all in this together.
We are.
We are, and it's inspired me. And a group of us here locally, we've actually got something called the Oz Movement. You know, like the Wizard of Oz, who's really behind the curtain.
Well, that's a great idea.
Sprinkling literature, to everybody, to just get them to look the right way, to quit looking towards Lord Obama, who's really behind the curtain. And for example, we go to like some of the hell places around here, and we'll put like a little pamphlet there that has InfoWar Life on it, and it routes them to real good quality products, and maybe that way it provides a little opening for them. And by the way, I want to plug your Super Male Vitality. It works, and it works very well. So if anybody had any doubt about that, don't have any. It's a wonderful tool in the InfoWars.
Well, listen, I used it for 4 months in the formulation before we even put it out, and Dr. Group boasts to me privately that this is the most powerful raw liquid herbs, not from dry, in a special proprietary system of concentrating it out. So I would say use it responsibly. Believe me, it's the real deal, and it's available at InfoWarsLife.com. Thanks for the plug. What's your point on the immigration?
Well, actually, it's about the North American Union. First of all, for anybody out there who really honestly believes that Obama or any of them really honestly care about the average person, what I was looking for was he going to fulfill his promise to overturn NAFTA. You can go to YouTube, you can put in Obama and NAFTA, and you can see him promising that he was going to overturn it. Then when he becomes president, it's never mentioned again. Overturning NAFTA would have been a great first step in bringing jobs back to our country again. He didn't do that. And my question is, this is in more regards to, it used to be talked about something called the Amero.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, is the collapsing of the dollar, Is this what they're going after to bring in?
I appreciate your question. Guys, remind me if I forget. I'm going to answer that on the other side of this break. It's a very important question. More calls coming up.
We're on the march.